Welcome to or back to Silver Thread Sewing. I'm Diane. This is Friday Sews and hashtag Fabric Wheel of Fate. So again this week I'm doing a dual video with the two hashtags, and I want to say thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for the hashtag Friday Sews, and I want to thank Carol from Sew Carol for starting the hashtag Fabric Wheel of Fate. And both of them have allowed so many of us to join in on those hashtags, and it's been great fun. So I have just a few little things to share with you. I've made a Fabric Wheel of Fate make. I actually made one make that was supposed to be for the Sew Frugal 25 challenge that was run by Ruann from the Yorkshire Sew Girl and Sam from Frugalissima, but I didn't get my make finished by the 31st of March. Surprise, surprise. Who's going to be surprised about that? Probably nobody. This is me we're talking about. So I do have it done. I'm not going to leave it quite the way it is, and I'll explain that to you. So the other thing is my birthday was April 1st. And yes, I am an April Fool, and it just fits. I don't know. It's like I just was born on the right day. I don't know. So I have a few gifts and things that have come in from everybody this week, from all my family and a lot of friends. So I'm going to share those things with you. But first, I want to go to the sewing for those of you who are here just for the sewing. But I do have some fabric, and I have some other things that I ordered. So I made for the Fabric Wheel of Fate, I had the wheel had chosen a navy blue sweater knit for my next make. And one of the comments I had last time was, why didn't I make another Be Mine cardigan that I had made last time? And the pattern was still out, and I loved it so much, and I thought, you know what, that's a great idea, and I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to make another Be Mine cardigan. And I did. I cut it out immediately, or so I thought. So the way that this Be Mine cardigan from Ellie and Mac is drafted, you cut the piece for the bottom of the skirt portion of the sweater, you cut that on the fold for the back part. Then you have the two front parts, and all that is that back part cut with no fold. So you just have two pieces that are separate, one for each side. Well, I had cut all my pieces, or so I thought, and when I started putting the skirt together, I already had the sleeves in the top part, and I had everything ready. And when I started to sew up the skirt, I only had the back piece, which was cut on the fold. And I didn't have enough fabric left to cut the two front pieces. Stupid mistake, wasn't paying attention, didn't realize what I was doing. I was just all about making that sweater again. So what I did, I had some dark blue lace that I've had for ages, and I cut those two front panels out of lace, and I'm going to get that sweater and show it to you. So this is another version of the Be Mine cardigan in this blue sweater knit. It's really fuzzy on the inside. Hopefully you can see that. And on the outside, it's just a really smooth, soft fabric. And I did the long sleeves, and I did the same length, or started to do the same length that I did last time, but I didn't have the front panels. So I cut out the two front panels out of this really pretty lace. And I'm going to try to insert some pictures of me wearing this, hopefully over something that'll show up, but it's really, really pretty. It's different. It's something that I almost just thought, well, I can't finish this. But then when I left it aside for a little while, I decided that lace might be perfect. And I have to say, I really do like it. I think it elevated the cardigan. I think it matches perfectly almost. And I think it would be really pretty to wear over maybe a dress, a sleeveless dress maybe that has blue and white, or maybe a solid white, or capri pants. White capri pants would be really cute with a t-shirt. But I think it could be, with this lace, I think it could really be styled up or styled down, either one. But it's just beautiful. And I went ahead and did the binding just like you always would. And it goes all the way down to the lace. Now this lace had a scalloped edge, And I left that, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but it has a beautiful scalloped edge, and I just left that on the bottom. But hopefully I can get some pictures, and hopefully I've already put them in. But this was a very successful make. Now, I only have 2 fabrics left. One is a striped sweater knit, and the other one is kind of a low quality blue sweater knit. But I think what I'm going to do is use that blue to toile a pattern that I want to make the striped one in. So I'm going to get that one done just because I want to clean my fabric quill off, and when I come back with it, I want to have some spring and summer fabrics on it. Probably not as many either. I probably will cut it down to 4 or 6 maybe, but not 8. That was a lot. Okay, so that was the fabric wheel of fate make. Now, I was making the puff sleeved sweatshirt by Tiana's Closet. That was the make that I had planned for the So Frugal 25 challenge. But I started making it, and I thought I was going to have plenty of time, but it called specifically for ribbing for the neck and for the lower edge of the shirt, and I didn't have anything. I had a little bit of white ribbing, but it's just something I've never thought I needed. Really, I always just use the same fabric for the neck and the cuffs and the band, and I didn't have any, so I basted the same fabric on this sweatshirt that the whole shirt's made out of. And it was this blue, and I believe it's a cotton. I'm convinced it's a cotton sweatshirting. But this is the shirt, and this is the sleeves. You can't really tell a whole lot, so I'll put pictures in. I do think for a puff sleeved sleeve that it probably needs a little bit more puff. I don't think it's hardly as full. I could see it being easier to wear under something else like a jacket or something, since it is a sweatshirt, but I was really hoping for the sleeves to be a little bit more puffed. So I think you could probably slash and spread the pattern and make just a little bit more fullness to make them a little bit more dramatic. But I have to say, this went together well. I didn't put a cuff at the bottom. I did a facing because the sweatshirt hit me just about perfectly when I finished it. And I didn't really want to take anything off the length, so I just cut a 2-inch band of this same fabric. But that's kind of made it a little bit heavy and bulky. So what I'm probably going to do is take off the band at the bottom and this neck band and get some ribbing and put that back on, because I love this fabric, I love this color, and I love this pattern. I really do. It went together really, really well. So I want to fix this so I'll be able to wear it, all the time. But I do need to, it kind of stands out at the bottom, and it's a little bit more bulky, I think, than it should be. And hopefully in the pictures you'll be able to see that. I may put it on the mannequin and take some like I did last time. But I do like it a lot, but I didn't get it made in time for the challenge, which is totally fine, and I'm not a bit surprised, and I'm sure you're not either. So my birthday was April Fool's Day, and I got a few sewing things. I got some fabric, and I got a couple things. I think I'm going to show you real quick the non-sewing thing that I got. I got some strawberry stuff. My daughter, Callie, she got me some strawberry candles, some strawberry bookends, which I think I'm going to put down here on my sewing table and keep my patterns between them. Just all kinds of stuff. And Greg got me a yarn winder. Now, if you've never seen one of these little things, it looks like this. It looks a lot more complicated than it is. This part here attaches like to your countertop or to a table, and you just tighten it up with this little washer thing. And then you have to hold your thread, your yarn, with one hand, and it runs through this guide and through these little slots here. And then all you have to do is hold your yarn and turn it, and it winds the cutest little cake of yarn. Now this one, I'm going to show a little video of me winding this one. It doesn't take but just a minute, but it's so fun. I would wind the yarn even if I didn't want to use it. It's just so fun. But you can only wind as big as this. If you go over that, it starts making a mess, and you have to cut the yarn if you've got a big skein of yarn. But this one was perfect. It was fine. So I'm going to insert here how this works. So I have this peaches and cream cotton yarn, and Greg actually had to go ahead and wind it up into a ball for me because it had a lot of knots inside it. I think I was supposed to have started on the outside, and I started on the inside, taking it out, and I couldn't go straight to the winder. But I'm going to use this anyway to show you and demonstrate the yarn winder. So you basically just take the end of whatever yarn you're going to use and run it through the little guides, and there's 2 little slots on top of the spindle, and there's a handle right here. Now you use this hand to control the tension, so you don't let it just like free flow. You have to kind of keep a little bit of tension on it. So then you just kind of start winding. And that's it. Then you have this nicely wound little yarn cake. So hopefully you got a kick out of seeing my yarn winder. That Ellie had ordered some fabric and buttons. And this fabric all came from Fabric Mart Fabrics. Now this one, 3 of them are rayon challis and 2 are not. So this is one of the rayon challis. Callie calls it rayon callies. So I love this print. Love it. And it's very soft, and I think I've got like 2 yards, maybe 2.5 yards of that, and it's fairly wide. Now this is more of a fall and winter color of rayon, and it's rayon challis too, challis. And it's got some beautiful colors in it, and it's just such an elegant looking fabric. I don't know, I never know what colors look good on me, or if any, but I love the colors, so I'm real happy with that. But to me, that one looks a little bit more like fall. The other one I think I could do for summer with the tropical looking leaves and stuff. Now this is the last rayon challis or challis. This is a peach or an apricot background, and it has these beautiful flowers in it. So soft. It's a good weight. It's not too light, but it's certainly not heavy by any means. And then there is I love, and I don't know how to say it, broderie anglaise, the little embroidered fabric, eyelet like fabric. Love that stuff. But this one is very pretty, and it's got just a bit of a selvage, but it's black. And I hope you can see those. Beautiful. It is such a good quality. It's so beautiful. And it feels like a cotton lawn, probably. And maybe you can see the holes there. So I would imagine that I would probably need to like interline it or wear it over something else. But it is such beautiful fabric, and it has from here to the end is just a plain fabric. So it's the print or the embroidery is on the rest of it. I've got about 2 yards of that, and some kind of a top, some kind of a shirt. But I'm just in love with this fabric. I'm so happy with it, and I don't want to ruin it, but I'm not going to put it back and save it either. Now, the last piece of fabric is, it's a linen rayon blend, and I believe the selvage goes from side to side. And I hope that shows up. It's just beautiful. It's got tans and just a little bit of a blue and some white, and it's a heavier fabric, so I'm not sure. And I think that it would be okay to cut it vertically, probably, because since the warp and the weft, I don't know. Tell me what you think about that. But I don't really know what it would make a good one. Maybe a blouse or a shirt. I think I've got two yards of this one too, and it's like 56 inches wide. But I just think it's so pretty, and I just love those earthy tones. Now, the last thing that I have, I ordered some buttons. And they're cheap buttons. And I'm sure you can imagine where I ordered these buttons from. I was looking. I don't order, usually if I order, it's on Amazon. But I've noticed, and just, just do what you want to do. If you don't like the idea of ordering from this vendor, then absolutely don't. But I decided to give them a try. So I ordered these buttons from Temu. And I have to say, it took them maybe a week, maybe 9 days to come. But I got a ton of buttons. And I'm going to get them out here on the table and then I'll show you. Okay, so this piece of trim is what started this whole thing. It's a little piece of lace, and it's on like tulle or netting or mesh, and it has these embroidered strawberries. And you know I couldn't pass that up. And it was like $1.59 or something. It didn't cost very much. So then I started looking, buttons started popping up. So there's these little colorful, shiny, almost clear buttons. I have some all white, pearly looking buttons. And then these are, I don't know where to hold them. These are just beautiful. They have all different colors. And there's at least 6 of each color. These are some wooden buttons that have the little decorative touches to them. And they are wooden. And these are all different colors. And they're kind of like shirt button size. And there's tons of these. And all these were like $1, less than $2 a pack. And these are the tiny little 2-hole buttons, but there's all the different colors. This is more of the shiny ones like were over here. These are the biggest ones. I think they were $3. And I think there's 50 of them altogether. There's more in the pack here. But they're all plastic of these. But these are beautiful. And they would be pretty on like a coat or something. And then these I thought would be really cute on kids' clothing. I've got a friend that sews. And I thought I might divide these with her. And then these are real pastel colors. And they're smaller. But I just loved all the variety and all the colors. And these are really, really pretty. And I think they would be pretty on a short dress or a blouse. But anyway, that is my little button haul. So, as always, I appreciate your watching. And I will give you one little tidbit of life update. So, last Friday, I had my injection in my eye. And my vision had worsened. I was right about that. It had gone from 20/30 to 20/40 in my left eye. But the doctor did tell me something. I have been praying for peace. Whatever the outcome, whatever the circumstances, just praying for peace about it and for God's mercy. So when the doctor came in, he said, your eye, your vision is worse in that left eye. And I said, yeah, I knew that. I've known it. And he said, but it's not caused from the diabetic retinopathy, and it's not even caused by the AMD. He said the shots are helping with those things. The shots are helping the retinopathy. I can't even hardly see any diabetic changes in your eye now. And he said, you've not had any new bleeding or fluid or swelling. So that's all good. And I said, well, if it's not that, why am I not seeing? So I have had for some time a small cataract on this eye. And these shots, one of the side effects of these injections is it causes the cataracts to form and to mature or ripen much faster than they normally would. So the reason I'm not seeing out of this left eye very well is because I have a cataract. Now they, of course, I'm sure a lot of you or some of you probably have had to have that surgery. It's no fun, but they can clean that off and it helps. The thing with me is they can't do the surgery for the cataract until I'm farther out between the injections. So right now, 6 weeks is as much as I've been going without the injections. So he has put me out for 8 weeks the next time, and he said if we could do 8 weeks a couple times, we'd try to get the surgery scheduled and get the cataract off. I don't have one so far on this side. I'm not having to have any treatment, so hopefully that one will be okay for a while. I'm terrified and I dread it so bad, but I think you're asleep for that, which is way better than being awake for the shots. So those of you that pray, thank you, and just keep praying for me. And those of you that have been so kind and shared your stories with me, thank you, and please keep doing that. But anyway, I'm going to get away and let you guys go and watch other Friday sews and other videos, and hopefully you'll get a chance to sew some if you want to. So remember, as always, what I tell you, don't ever give up on sewing, even when things don't go like you want them to. Just keep right on, because you'll never have time or money to get into any kind of trouble as long as you sew. And you can ask me how I know. Yes. Thanks, guys, for everything. Y'all are the best. Have a great weekend.